Okay, the last main thing I have to review is Tires. It's a series. I don't have the director because there's multiple directors as a series. They usually do. It's on Netflix. First heard about this series last year when we did Let's Start a Cult. And Let's Start a Cult starred Stavros Halkias. I don't remember to say his name. And Stavros was the kind of the main dude in Let's Start a Cult. And I had heard that he was part of this series that was supposed to be pretty good on called Tires on Netflix. This last week, they just dropped season 2 of Tires. And my wife and I were looking for something to watch. We usually watch TV series together. And then I usually watch the movies on my own. And we were watching whatever. And then we decided, what are we going to watch? What are we going to watch? And she suggested to watch Tires. When I was like, okay, I didn't think you should want to watch it, but let's do it. Each episode's about 30 minutes. And also, along with Stavros Halkias, now he doesn't play the main character in this series. He's a side character of a kind of an ensemble cast, but he's memorable. They're all pretty memorable in this. The main characters in this are Shane, played by Shane Gillis, which you may know, and Will, played by Steve Gerber, and they're basically cousins. And Will is the manager dude of this tire shop. Like you see these all over the place, discount tire places. They're a dime a dozen. He's this low level just store manager of this chain of kind of low level tire shops. And then Shane Gillis plays one of the like mechanics. And this is just one of those Motley Crue semi dude bro kind of comedies, but it's one of those things where, and I said they're cousins, right? So that adds a whole weird layer to their relationship. The basic kind of the dynamic between the two is you got to get is that Will, the manager dude, he's definitely your kind of more, not nerdy per se, but he's awkward. Doesn't have any kind of, he has no game in the world, period. He wouldn't have game with women. He wouldn't have game with just people in general. Everything he does is awkward. He's got a very kind of he's like a angry nerd almost. Like he's frustrated with life, middle management. He's that kind of feel. Just he's on the edge, but he's also not going to do anything about it. Whereas Shane is the kind of guy who's just like he's a cross between a stoner and a bro, but he's also got this wry smile. He's got this sense of humor about him where he's the kind of guy who's always almost like pulling a prank, but he's like just waiting for the bomb to explode that he set 2 weeks ago. Like maybe he'll tell rumors about Will, just that rumors about what Will's doing. And then a week or two later, it'll come back around and someone will say something to Will and he'll be like, what? I didn't do that. And then you just see Shane off to the side like, it finally came to fruition. And there's just a whole motley crew of people that work at this tire place. So there's various mechanics that all have their own quirks. There's every episode, it's a cross between a situation comedy where every episode has some new, like maybe they're doing a new sale, they're trying to do some kind of a new promo, like maybe they're going to have a bikini car wash one week and then all the weirdness that'll come around that. Or maybe they have some big discount one week and all the weirdness that comes around that. Maybe they're having someone come and audit them, or someone's coming to inspect the store because they're maybe going to sell the chain, and that's going to cause a whole set of stress. So there's this kind of episode by episode situation comedy feel, which is nice because you don't have to get super invested in a very intricate ongoing comedy or drama. So you kind of have that feeling of I can just watch an episode at any time and enjoy it, old school comedy style, like TV style. But it also does have the ongoing character arcs from season to season, which you can actually follow. And those are a lot of fun too. So I think the best thing to know about this series, if it's going to work for you or not, is it's honestly in the Let's Start a Cult, there was this combination of heart and kind of raunchy, almost throwback comedy. This series is like that too. It's definitely got, like I said, it's got like a bro energy to it, but it never goes all the way like to the point where it would drive everybody away except bros. I'm not a person that really goes into bro comedy mindset that much. That is not my style. But I think it works here because it's not only smart, but it likes all of its characters, but it also makes fun of all its characters. So everyone here is flawed. Everyone here is deserving of being laughed at and also of being like rooted for. And I think that's a really hard balance to score with these kind of movies and this kind of TV series where you got like the raunchy, gross out, stoner-esque kind of humor, but you also feel the people writing it like all these characters, and you in turn as an audience member are actually liking and rooting for all these characters too. I think probably the least likable is the Dave Stavros character, but even him, eventually they give him some, he has a level of patheticness and try hardness that makes you even pity him and root for him a little bit too, even though he's a pretty detestable character. Of all the characters, he's probably the worst person. But all your main characters you really end up liking a lot. And they keep bringing in other side characters too. I didn't mention, I think Thomas Hayden Church has a major role in the second season for a while. And there's some truly hilarious, laugh out loud segments and scenes. And certain episodes, of course, are funnier than other episodes. But there's a lot of good stuff here. I think one episode that really struck me in the last season was there's a whole HR. It's a kind of a classic trope, kind of the HR thing where they have to have like a presentation about sexual harassment in the workplace and stuff like that with all the dudes. And it's so terrible. And the guys are so bad. And of course, you can imagine the comedy there. There's a lot of comedy you wouldn't expect to here. There's an episode where Shane just decides he's going to bring a gun to work for a day for some reason. He decided he's going to be a gun owner, which is not his style, but he's a gun owner now and he's got a gun at work and like what that'll lead to. Just stuff like that. I really enjoyed this quite a bit. This is, like I said, you could binge this really easily, or you could also just drop in and watch an episode or two whenever you felt like it. You could almost go out of order. I think there's some things to be gained if you watch them in order, of course, because you're going to get the arcs. But this is also one of those things where you could watch the whole series and then, I don't know, a year later, go back and just drop in and watch an episode or two that you really enjoyed and get that old school sitcom feeling from it as well. And I don't think there's a lot of that on Netflix that I can think of. This kind of original comedy, half-hour sort of comedy series being made that also feels new, but it also gives you that classic, I don't know, that classic fix of comedy that you used to get every week on TV. So I'm going to give Tires 4 stars. It's impossible to rate a series like this, although I would just say overall it's good, and the episodes are either good to great. I don't think there's very many episodes I would call just like a total loss. So I would overall rate this 4 stars for Tires.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. For more movie and television reviews and interviews, please subscribe to my Deepest Dream channel. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, thanks so much for your support. Take care.